Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Unemployment Project. Now, you'll be wondering, what is this channel all about? Well, it's a good thing that you asked because I don't know either. No, I'm joking. It's a really weird name, and that's probably because the first name that I had for this channel, or for my blog anyways, was taken. It was called a self-improvement project, but obviously that was taken, and so I had to think of something else that can be just as relevant. And I figured, hey, wait a minute. I thought about self-improvement project in relation to my employment status. So because that name, the first one, as mentioned, has been taken, I might as well take the one that's mentioned after, which is unemployment. I mean, it does make sense because it's relative in that sense, but overall, as a context-wise, when you read it from a first-hand perspective, it doesn't make sense as much. So what does this mean? Does it mean that you're constructing to becoming unemployed? No, it's really a project, a personal project for those who are currently unemployed or feeling that they're underemployed and not having a clear direction as to what is it that they're doing in their life and whether or not if they're really meeting their career goals or aspirations. And so where this really came up from is from my, I wouldn't say mental breakdown, I would say it was more like it's more of like trying to heal from the impacts of being unemployed. So a little bit of my situation anyways. Not that I have been unemployed for a very long time. It's just that I've always been underemployed for a very long time. So I have a university degree following one certificate and 2 masters. So you have to wonder, what am I doing? I feel that when I'm trying to apply for a job, I feel like it's totally out of reach for me and that it's beyond my seniority or my skill level or my experience or years of experience that they're looking for. And because it feels so intangible and so out of reach that I just give up altogether and not even bother applying for it because I know that it's very likely that they won't pick me. The thing is that you never know until you try, right? That is always a given. But the problem and the question is that are you willing to spend the effort and time for something that you're more likely to get versus less likely to get, and whether or not would it actually match to the criteria that you're looking for, whatever that may be. So if you have a need for a criteria, that's the first step right there. That's to really clarify what that criteria is and slowly try to meet it. So I'm not following, but I hired a career coaching service and slowly going through all the modules that they give me. And the first part is to create a vehicle for yourself in pursuit of clarity. So before you start running around trying to find whatever job that might be available out there in the market or not in the market, you need clarity. For me, I need clarity too. What did I study in my master's? I studied education policy, and after that I studied project management. I know that project management is more versatile and more generic and can be applicable to many areas, with the exception to like more specialized fields like construction and IT, which is like where project management mostly thrive in. And there's education policy, which is quite of a niche. However, just because I studied in education doesn't make it that I'm forbidden from applying to jobs that requires the same skill set and knowledge or the methodologies in research and analysis into other roles that require something similar. because not every job out there is going to relate to education policy, although that would be ideal. So I feel that where I live right now is seriously competitive. I've had several colleagues from school. They don't even live in Toronto. They would move out of the city and work elsewhere. And some colleagues from high school, they would get government jobs, but they would have to travel far and go somewhere else. So I'm open to that side of the world, moving out from the city. The city is quite noisy and it's very expensive, and as a millennial, it's just not affordable. So that being said, moving out to somewhere that's much more affordable, and it's it's puts a less of a dent on my wallet. That seems much more a better idea, I guess. Okay, so yeah, you're wondering why I'm not looking straight at the camera. It's not. It's the phone that's kind of weird. I don't know, when I'm looking at the screen, I'm not. I know I should be looking at the lens, but it doesn't feel natural to me. It doesn't feel natural, so that's why I'm feeling like I need to know what I look like, you know. Anyways, so that is the I guess you could say that's a very quick synopsis of what this channel is. But remember, the channel is just one small part of the project. To go and see a much more detailed and in-depth idea of what the project's all about, please visit my blog, theunemploymentproject.wordpress.com. I do anticipate to go premium at some point because I really like to own a domain. I had a domain website not so long ago, and I've had it for years. I've never really had the opportunity to use it. I didn't like the platform that I was using it with, and I didn't like the service I was using it with. It was extremely expensive for very little service that's being provided, and the fact that it was not very reliable. I've had some issues in the past with them. So I just canceled them altogether and went for something a little bit more reliable, such as just WordPress by itself, going straight to the source and possibly just using their services by themselves, as opposed to going to a third-party service. If you guys know like a better third-party service for hosting WordPress or something of the like, with in addition to an email host and domain, that would be good too. So that's about it, I guess. Yeah, so check it out. It's not really anything super special. It is a personal project, just as to reiterate the position of this project and the point of this project. And you know what? If so far in, from my experience anyways, I feel good every time I follow, the project, like I stick to the deliverables of the project. I stick to the tasks and assignments and whatever it is that I have to do that I said that I would do in my project charter under the milestones. So that kind of keeps me going, gets me busy. So when you're unemployed and not really doing anything else other than just looking for jobs, feeling depressed, feeling bad about yourself, just not, and being, feeling really aimless at the same time, because you don't really have a really clear background in what you learned and studied at school, and not a very substantial work experience, work history, sorry. So, or a very generic work history, because I had a very generic work history. And you don't really want to go back to it again because you only did it because you were in school. So maybe this is a good model for you, because I started to feel a little bit more confident in how I feel about myself in relation to what I can do for work. Because in addition to the career coaching services, it helps give me sort of like a guideline and a bit of a perspective, you know, some questions for self-reflection, something that I could probably apply to my blog entries. And I haven't really included like a blog entry that really connects to the modules that I'm doing. That's why I included a menu just for the career coaching, and this is only in relation to myself. It's not for profit, and I'm not going to start posting another company's proprietary information or data that people pay for at a premium, like myself. So it's for me as a way to complete the assignments and to be accountable to the assignments, because no one's really poking at me on the sides or the back to make sure that I'm doing my work. I need to be accountable to some sort of system or platform, so that way it helps me get things done in some sense. That's about it, really. So to keep this video short, thank you very much for watching and reading. You can follow me if you want. I don't really care. But again, this is a personal project, and this is something for my own posterity, or you know, whatever, in the future. So till next time, I will see you guys later. All right, thank you very much. Have a nice day.